When I woke up, my left leg was just, it felt asleep, you know, like maybe I slept wrong or something. I was like, dude, maybe I pinched a nerve or something, but this is bad. But by the end of the day at school, it had gone all the way up to my arm, so I had no feeling in my left arm, my left leg, like all the way down the left side of my body. I got an MRI. Both my doctor and my mother were crying. There's a picture of my brain with 4 big ass circles on it. Either A, brain cancer, or B, multiple sclerosis. I was like, oh, which one do I want? I had zero feeling or sensation in either of my hands for 2 years. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. This is weird, dude. This is a weird video. I don't know if I've ever openly talked about this stuff on YouTube. If you follow me on TikTok for a while, you know this, but I'm currently about to drive all the way back to Georgia, like 8 hours, for an MRI to see how much my brain has eaten itself. That's not a joke, like literally. If you guys did not know this, I have a brain-eating disease since I was 17 years old. Some of you guys may know the creator Do It With Dan, big creator here on YouTube. He and I actually have the same disease. It is called multiple sclerosis, an autoimmune disease where your brain attacks itself and you get lesions, holes in your brain. Well, yeah, I have the same thing, and I'm not super familiar with his situation, but I have to go back every year or so and get an MRI to see the progression of it, to see how, you know, it has progressed. So that's what I'm on the way to do now. I'm gonna start posting more on YouTube, and I don't usually have like enough going on to where I can make multiple YouTube videos a week, but I also don't ever really get personal on here, you know, and I want you guys to see everything. So this is a part of my life I don't think I've shown on here. So we are still getting some car stuff this video. Stopping by Chris's shop on the way home to see the progress on Stangry single turbo kit. You guys can let me know in the comments after this video if, you know, this is interesting to you at all, or if I should just stick to the car stuff. Again, I'm just trying to give you guys a little more insight into my life. I don't know if you need that. I don't know if you want it. At the same time, I really like going back and watching my old TikToks, like documenting my life. So I'm also making this for me. I want to go back and watch this in a couple years, see where I ended up, and then go back and look at where I was, you know, see how much we progressed in life, not just, you know, how much my brain progressed. That's another thing I'll go ahead and tell you right now. I make jokes, bad ones, about my brain eating itself. If you got anything funny to say, I'm all open for it. Dark humor, I love it, absolutely love it. You'll probably hear me say a lot of messed up stuff about it. That's my way of coping with it. So if you got any funny jokes, I ain't gonna hold you back. Leave them in the comments. I'll laugh reading them. Okay, about to get to Chris's shop to see Stangry. I don't even know. He hasn't given me any updates. That car could still be sitting in the same spot outside, or it could be done for all I know. I haven't gotten any updates. To be honest, I haven't really asked, so I don't know what to expect. This may not even end up being a full video of that car because I don't know if there's enough or if it's the same as the last time you guys saw. I don't know. All right, made it to Chris's shop. Dude, this thing is pretty nasty, I'm not gonna lie. This may be a little cooler than Fred's gonna end up being. The red bed liner's pretty sick. Let me see the interior. Let me see the interior. Oh, that's hot. Okay, that's hot. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go quite that crazy on Fred. Chris knows what's up here. Chris knows what's up here. Stupid. Yeah, let me watch you unwrap that. That's high quality packing right there.
Yeah, they are very hard to unwrap. I'm billing you for the hours that it takes me to unwrap these.
Yeah, but you would have billed me if it broke in shipping. There you go. We made it into the shop. Here's the car. You'll notice we now have a motor. The motor's back in the car. The headers aren't in there because the EGTs need to be put into each cylinder. These are going to monitor the exhaust temperature of every single cylinder individually. As far as our single turbo, here is where it's going to be mounted. Right here, I don't know if you can tell how big this is. Just talked about it. It's a 5-inch pipe right here that I just broke. That is crazy. So it's going to be aiming out, not directly at me, but to the side. It's going to be pointed out that way so that it's not going to shoot directly back into me. Say it blows up, it'll throw oil that way, not directly in my head. These are my super bougie Holley smart coils. I'm not going to lie, I don't know what that is. What's the difference?
Better than Jay's.
Okay, better than Jay's? That's the point?
Better than Jay's.
Okay. Those are better than Jay's. Why? Because Chris says so. You don't like that?
Super high quality.
I feel like I can't help but think that you're dissing the car right now. You know, this thing's gone 7s before.
It's fine. It's fine.
It
could be better.
You gonna fix it?
Yes, I'm gonna fix it.
This thing is getting complete overhaul. On Holly, we're gonna have a little dash right there. I think we're gonna have a little carbon fiber bezel. It's gonna look pretty sick. And then I'm bringing it home for the first time in 2 years. Lived in Florida for 2 years now. Still haven't even gotten this thing registered at my new house. You can see how dirty this thing is. In preparation to bathe this car, Chris has acquired a little bit of Moxy. Just a hair. How many bottles do you think that is?
I think I bought 40 bottles.
40 bottles. I think that'll work. This part I didn't know. The whole custom part, every individual little cut is just bagged by itself. That sounds like a lot of work to just sit there and weld every individual thing together.
It's not that bad. It's 5-inch pipe, so it's like, I don't know the math there, but it's like 11 inches of weld for each seam.
Yeah, I'm more familiar with like 4.5 inches. Speaking of everything on Stangry's turbo kit being custom made by Chris, gotta talk about the intercooler. So far, it looks like a brick. So what, you start out with like a little core like that and you build around it?
Yeah, we just build tanks, 50-52 aluminum tanks.
So beforehand, my temps were getting like 228 top of the track. What do you think we'll be at?
We run the same intercooler in the 2018 single turbo car. After a run, they're like 130 at the most.
Okay. What you wanted me to do.
This is what I would prefer you to do. Because after a run, they're like, they start out at like 40, 45 degrees, and then after a run, they're like 65 degrees.
Yeah, but how much more is that than the other one?
Probably another $1,000.
They're icing. How often though? How often do you throw ice?
We fill this one up before every round.
See, that adds one more thing to the list though. Before it passes, you gotta have ice. This being a 6-inch core should be good for 2,000 horsepower. I don't think I'll ever be touching that, but if we need it, it's there. Not gonna lie, guys. I kind of locked in on the car ride, put my head down, and showed up at the house. So tomorrow morning, gotta wake up, get my MRI. I'll take some pictures. I don't think I can record in the doctor's office. I'll take some pictures, and then we'll sit down and talk about my brain and it eating itself. I don't know. I've driven for 10 hours today. Good night, sleep well. I gotta get up in like 5 hours.
The next day.
Okay. We're about to go to the Multiple Sclerosis Research Center of Atlanta. They're gonna scan my brain, take my blood, and then I have an appointment right after for them to read the MRI, tell me how bad it is, or not bad. Fingers crossed. I still make my mom go with me even though I'm 25.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
How you doing? One of those days. Did you have a scan today?
Yes.
Did you have a scan today?
I did one.
Sit down before I- Well, how you been feeling?
Normal,
Normal.
I guess. As normal can be.
So you bought some fancy new car last time.
So you got the R8.
Yeah, Audi R8.
Yeah?
Caught on fire the other day, actually.
What? Influencers. Who would have thought?
I know,
I mean,
right?
Not me.
could you have predicted this?
Nope.
I wouldn't have guessed it.
So anyway, we're better rid of it. Okay, here's your brain. The old one on the right. This is 2 years ago. So this is 2023. And this is now. The one lesion here.
Oh, you updated the
Which
left
is
side
this guy.
first, and I was like, damn.
And then you have this one here, which is going to be that one. And then you'll have another one here. There's one here.
That's what I'm at, 4 or 5.
We're at, well, let's see. I can count them up.
I like to update the people on how many
2,
holes I have in my brain.
3. There's 4. 4 major lesions, you know. Is that what we had over here? 1.
Well, that's good, because that was 2 years ago.
Well, you know, you feel good, you look good, keep going good. I got no complaints. the way your head is turned. So I think what I'll do is let's go with this one.
The next day.
Perfect timing. Look what just pulled up.
All right, we're
About to be the best Moxy ad ever, dude. This is like mildew, just it is in the paint. It's from like a 90-year-old. Her husband just left this thing outside for years. Moxy Turbo APC is about to go crazy. Just hit half of this hood with the APC. Gonna let it sit. That's gonna be good. Without even touching the paint yet, this thing's starting to look pretty good. Picked it up for 400 bucks, so he's trying to flip it for like 2 or 3 grand. We're about to hit it with some Moxy Cherry Burst and a foam can and go in with a contact wash. See how nice we can get it looking. There definitely needs to be some clear coat work, but it's gonna look a lot better than when he picked it up. Got this thing cleaned up now. Starting to show the good parts and the bad parts. So clear coat definitely is one of the downsides of this thing. 97 Honda, it's owned by a 91-year-old lady, sold for 400 bucks, so that's a good deal. Interior though, this thing's freaking minty. Look at the dash. I'm assuming the radio doesn't work. He's replacing the headliner. It was sagging, so he pulled it out. It is a manual, so 5-speed manual, pretty cool. Rear seats, perfect condition. No holes, tears, rips, stains, nothing. So interior-wise, this thing is mint. Only downside, like the real downside on the exterior, is this rust right here on the front fender. I think there's one accident on the title. Assumption is right here. Yeah, for 400 bucks, I'm 100% sure it'll flip for more than that. At Moxy, we have every single product to detail a car inside and out. You can pick up a bottle on our website, moxyperformance.com, as well as Amazon, TikTok Shop, pretty much anywhere except for stores. Walmart, AutoZone, hit me up. We're about to take a LC500 on a test drive. I had an RCF. This is the same motor, I believe. I could be wrong. It sounds the same. But this is a 2024. Look at this interior. Look at that. I do dig the interior, I will admit. It's definitely the same as RCF. I don't. Real bad though. He probably doesn't drive this car like this though. If I had to guess. And then there's you on the side of the road and you're staying with louvers. Can't hate on the louvers. Can't hate on.
I would not put the louvers on.
Yeah, me either. I'd never do that. Thing's pretty sick. Get a quick little walk around. He came over because he has matte white paint and PPF and was afraid of washing it, so we hooked him up with some Moxy. Got the pH balanced soap and detail spray. Look at that. Carbon wing, carbon roof. Pretty sick car. They go for over 100 grand. Power wise, I don't think it's worth it. Got the same 5-liter V8 as the RCF. They sound really good. I think Yamaha partnered with Lexus to work on this exhaust system, and when you pair this thing with headers or an exhaust, it is actually nuts. Let me get some revs of this thing with no exhaust, just stock. They don't sound bad. It's just once you hear the true potential of what an RCF can sound like or an LC500, you won't want to go back. I don't know why we're trying all new things today. Gonna ride my first bike. What is it called? A Yamaha what?
R7.
R7. Is that slow or fast?
It's pretty slow.
Pretty slow. Are you gonna be, how 1 out of 10 how mad if I wreck it?
Probably like a 5.
Oh, okay, we're chilling. I'm gonna try and ride it. No helmet. Where's the key? Give me the key. That's it.
When are you leaving, Parker?
Right now.
You're driving 8 hours on Ryan's motorcycle?
Should make it in 5. You nervous? I'm a little nervous. I don't know how tough the clutch is. Damn. Oh, I'm in first gear. clutch just comes out really far. I don't want to wreck your stuff. Well, there's no miles in this thing.
Your muffin tops look really good.
I'm pretty good at this. I got that shit down, dude. So, one issue I found. When I put my feet up onto those pegs, I get a cramp in the hip flexor immediately. I got it all the way up to like 10,000 RPM up there. Pretty baller.
It's just like the rock climber. Give it a little.
That was fun. Saw a lot of my hometown friends. Buddy Ryan got a bike. Now I get to drive all the way back home to Florida. So we got some time to talk, you know, about my brain. Okay, Mr. Stark and I, we are on our way back to Florida. I came home literally just for my MRI. Saw a couple hometown friends, celebrated, you know, Memorial Day, my mom's birthday. We're headed back now, but as I said, I'm going to sit here and talk and tell you guys the story, my diagnosis, how all this stuff works. I don't think I've ever really talked about it online, not because I'm afraid to talk about it, just because like I don't want people to look at me differently. I don't want them to like have pity, I guess, or watch me and say like, oh, he's doing good for a guy with multiple sclerosis. You know, I'd rather, you know, he's doing good, you know, just like a normal person. I don't know, but at the same time, I want to show, because I've had people reach out since I did show this kind of insider view, going and getting MRIs. People are like, hey, dude, I have the same thing. It's super cool to see that, you know, you're just going on with your life like normal. It's very inspiring. And I don't think of myself as the most inspiring guy ever, but, you know, if it helps one person, then it helps somebody. So it's not pointless to make the video. Let's talk about, I guess, my journey, how I found out, how long it's been, the ups, the downs. Let's talk. I don't know if Stark has heard this story yet. This is before your time, dude. This is before you were even alive. Doesn't care. Ready to just sleep. All right. So I'm currently 25 years old. So let's rewind back to I was 16 years old. I was in high school. I went on like a little lake trip with my buddy for July 4th. I thought I got some firework, like ash in my eye or something, because my eyes were just killing me, dude. They were killing me. I felt like I always had something in it no matter what. I was looking in there. I couldn't find anything. But like I said, we had just done fireworks. I was looking up in the air and my first thought was like, oh, you know, the ash or something got in my eye. Fast forward though, I played football as well. I wasn't the best football player, but one thing about me is I never dropped the ball. Like I caught everything. And I randomly just couldn't catch the ball, dude. I couldn't catch the ball. I had slightly blurred vision in my right eye. I didn't know what was going on. I went to a couple eye doctors. They couldn't find anything. They just basically said that I needed glasses in one of my eyes, which is weird. But I didn't really think much about it. I just kept on going. And I was sleeping all the time. I mean, all the time. I was taking a nap every single day. And I mean, nobody really thought that was out of the norm. You know, I went to school, I played sports, I was tired. But even on like family trips, we went on a family trip skiing in Montana, and I was getting yelled at because rather than going and doing the fun stuff, I needed to sleep, dude. I was so tired. Come to learn that MS tires you out like 3 times faster than the average person. Didn't know that, but now it all makes sense. And I vividly remember this. I took a nap on our couch at the house. When I woke up, my left leg was just, it felt asleep, you know, like maybe I slept wrong or something. But whatever. I went upstairs and went to sleep. Like it was one of those naps where I woke up and it was time for me to go to sleep, like 9 or 10 p.m. And I was like, might as well just go to sleep. So I went upstairs, went to sleep, woke up the next day for school. And when I went to go walk down the stairs, I fell down the stairs. Like my leg just wasn't working. Like I didn't have feeling in it. I was like, dude, maybe I pinched a nerve or something, but this is bad. I went on my day with school and it just was traveling up. By this point, I had told my mom, didn't really think much of it though, but by the end of the day at school, it had gone all the way up to my arm, so I had no feeling in my left arm, my left leg, like all the way down the left side of my body. So she made an appointment for me to go to the doctor. I've had the same doctor from when I was born. I still went to the pediatrician, and by the time we got to the doctor, it had gotten to my face, so I couldn't feel the entire left side of my body, all the way up, no sensation, no nothing. It was just like not even there. Really weird thing that just randomly popped up. So I go in, they wanted me to do an MRI, so whatever, I got an MRI, and the doctor came back in. Well, I say came back. The doctor came back in, called my mom out of the room, and when they both came back in, both my doctor and my mother were crying. Granted, this guy's like super close with my family. My grandmother's a nurse, worked with him her whole career. This guy's been my doctor all my life, so he knows me. But when your doctor's crying, you're like, damn, something's messed up. He saw something, but they wouldn't tell me what. They wouldn't tell me what. They were just like, he said I needed to go to the hospital, but they wouldn't tell me what it was. And I get in the car, I'm going back home. This was the first time, like, not to be a softie, this was the first time like I cried about it because I didn't know what was going on. I was just driving home. I was 16 years old, and my doctor's crying after he looks at a scan of my brain. I mean, come on here, I'm expecting the worst. So I go home and take a nap, dude. Like I said, I was tired all the time. When I woke up, my whole family, like parts of my extended family were in my room, and my mom told me to pack a bag for like 5 days that we were going to the hospital. My aunt asked to pray over me, and I was like, oh my God, what did they see? What is the conversations going around about Parker and his brain that I don't know yet? Somebody at the school started a rumor that I had brain cancer. So before I was even told why I was going to the doctor, what was happening, all I see is my family members and my doctor crying. Word gets back to me that I have brain cancer. So I was 100% like, damn, that's what they knew. That's why they didn't want to tell me. And my mom told somebody, and word's just spreading around. So that sucked for a little bit. I was low-key freaking out. I go to the hospital, and what do they want? Another MRI. They brought me to the neuro level. And so I was like, okay, it's my head, something in my head. They gave me another MRI. The nurse rolls the little computer on wheels into the room, moves the mouse, and boom, there's a picture of my brain with 4 big ass circles on it. And I was like, well, shit, brain cancer it is. Damn, that sucked. I had a good run, 16 years. But brain cancer, that's my way. That's how I go. Not what I was expecting. I have horrible dark humor, like I've mentioned, so I was making jokes. But I said that out loud. I was like, damn, brain cancer. I mean, there's literally holes. Like, you could just see circles on your brain right there smack dab in the middle. And I was like, obviously this is not good. The doctor was like, well, there's 2 options here. It's either A, brain cancer, or B, multiple sclerosis. I was like, oh, which one do I want? Like if I had a choice, which one do I want here? Then he said, well, technically speaking, you can get rid of brain cancer. You cannot get rid of multiple sclerosis. However, typically brain cancer is a lot more vigorous of a process to get rid of if you can. And if not, it's just, it's an ugly process. Multiple sclerosis, you could live a close to normal life if it's caught early and treated, treated correctly. So obviously that was the one I wanted. They got these steroids and they just started pumping me full of steroids. Almost, I'd say immediately, within a day or so, I got the feeling in my left leg and like all the way up in my body back. The only feeling I did not have was my left hand. I still had no sensation in my left hand. Also still did not have the sight in my right eye. It was as if there was a piece of tape over it, not like duct tape. I could see through it. It was just blurry. But I went to the Multiple Sclerosis Research Center of Atlanta, same place that I was at, that I showed you guys earlier where I got my brain scanned. Scanned my brain again. So I've now had 3 MRIs within the span of like a week. And it took him all of 10 minutes of being in that room before he officially diagnosed me on my 17th birthday with multiple sclerosis. So the day I turned 17, I was diagnosed with that. I was out of school for like 20 days. When I came back, I tried to play football again, but again, it's just not the same. For me, it was the heat. So I would lay down on the turf, and by the time warm-ups would be starting, I could feel the numbness coming back. I really couldn't see out of my eye, and it was just, like I said, I wasn't a great football player anyway, so it wasn't, it wasn't a combination for success. So I quit football and just kind of focused on working. A couple months into my diagnosis, I lost feeling in my right hand. So I never got feeling back in my left hand. Now I had no feeling in my right hand. Fun fact, I had 0 feeling or sensation in either of my hands for 2 years. You could dunk them in boiling water and I would not know. Randomly popped back up after those 2 years. I was in the car trying to open a water bottle and I was like, I couldn't get it open. I was like, damn, dude, this hurts my hands. Then I was like, it hurts my hands. I can feel my hand, and it literally was just back. So yeah, there are a couple things. As you heard the doctor mention, I have 4 major lesions in my brain. I had 1 in my spine. Forever, I'm gonna have that slightly blurry vision of my right eye. Like if I close right now my left eye kind of carries for me. But if my right eye is the only one that's looking, I'm blind as a bat. I can't read anything. It's just, that's never gonna come back. So it is what it is. I have feeling in my hands, so that's a win. They switched me to a new pill. I was one of the first ones to start it, called Zeposia. And from then on, no side effects, no nothing. The pill's been great. I take it once a day. And as you saw, 2 years, I have not had any new lesions pop up. I haven't had any issues. I'll randomly have times where it'll flare up. Say I'm on a trip, I haven't slept in days, I'm constantly editing, grinding, working. Because I don't let it hold me back. I'm not trying to sound all inspirational or like I'm such a good person and I work harder than you. I'm constantly filming a YouTube video, making my 3 TikToks a day, running this company, trying to figure everything out. And sometimes I go a little too hard. I drive all night, film the video during the day, drive back again, filming the whole time through it, dealing with the business stuff. I work pretty hard and sometimes I'll overdo it, and I'll have like 2 or 3 days where I'm just out because again, my body does not work the same as everybody else's energy wise. I don't have it. Doctor is very happy with how early they caught it. Again, I was 17, I'm currently 25. Usually by the time people finally catch it, because the symptoms are easy to look over, like a little blurry vision, a little numbness, but my mom luckily was a little crazy with it and brought me to the doctor to get an MRI, and we caught everything very, very early, so I was able to get treated very, very early, and I don't live with crazy side effects, symptoms every single day. My mom has been fantastic through this. I know it tears her to shreds seeing me. My biggest fear in the world is needles, and that was my first time ever getting an IV, and I sat in the hospital for 8 days just getting stuck like a science experiment with needles. It was driving me crazy. She still goes with me to every single appointment, every single time. We're going on like 7 years now that I've had this disease, and I'm still here, still cooking, doing pretty decent for myself, not letting it hold me back. Yeah, I am 25 years old. I've had multiple sclerosis for 7 years now. I'm doing good. No new flare-ups. It's actually healed a little bit over the last 2 years, which is super cool. So I'm very adamant about getting it checked every 6 months. I get scanned as often as the doctor tells me to. If anything pops up, you change the medication because clearly it's not working, which is what we did. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to sit here and yap anymore, take time out of y'all's day. I just kind of wanted to make a video and put it out there because I never really told the in-depth story on TikTok. So if people are super curious, I'll just tell them to come over here and watch the video. That is going to conclude today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a little bit different. I tried to include some car stuff in there. To be honest with you, I always get a video out every single week, and this week my whole mission was driving home to get a checkup on my health. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If you got any funny dark humor jokes, feel free to make them. Doesn't hurt my feelings, I make them too. That is going to wrap up today's video. I got another 5 or 6 hours of driving before I get home, get back to work, get back into the swing of things. But that is going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.